Hello, my name is Mario Carrasco, and I am with the DiSTI Corporation. And today I have one of our virtual trainers, actually one of our virtual maintenance trainers, lined up for you. This is the CH-47. And so the very first thing is I'll just jump right into what we call free play. I'm going to navigate to our training assistant. And it looks like here we have our classroom dashboard. I have no computers hooked up just yet, but I can go ahead and move over to our login screen. And then here, I'm not quite sure what my login is, so I'm going to click on our roster here and see if I can either add myself or use an existing account. So this is loading the users, and it looks like we do have a demo instructor added, so I'll use that. So I can select the little silhouette in the top right, type in my login, and now I can enter free play. So free play is essentially exactly what it sounds like. We are able to go into the virtual environment here, this 3D representation of the vehicle, and we're able to essentially practice with the vehicle. Any procedures, it's not tracked or graded in this mode, hence the free play name. I'm going to move this vehicle outside. And so in order to do that, I can click on the simplified actions in the top, and then I can go to other tasks, and then I just type move to outside. There we go. And so a simplified action is essentially actions that are performed. For the most part, they are actions that you can do manually within the trainer itself. It's just at a forwarded pace, essentially a faster pace. So in the bottom center, you just saw me use the navigation cluster. So that's one mode of input. We can also use the mouse to zoom in, scroll out, to the right click to pan around. And then we can also use WASD, which is typical first-person shooter controls, right, or FPS controls. So you can see this is a full-fledged environment. The frames per second is a little bit lower just because I do have the recording software playing, but normally this runs at a very smooth pace, about 60 frames per second. We do optimize our models as well for both desktop and for VR, so you get the smoothest experience possible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show off a few of the distinct features of this particular trainer. So one, for example, would be to ghost the fuselage. And now you can see we have the linkages visible here. So you can see, I'll do a before and after actually. So let me go ahead and pull up our picture-in-picture window. I'm going to navigate to the left cockpit here. And then within this picture-in-picture window, I also have access to the controllers as well. So I can click and drag them typically. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable the hydraulic power, because I believe that is preventing me from doing so right now. And I'll do it for number 1, which is one of the sides, and then for number 2 as well. We have a 2D support equipment that pops up. This is also fully, operational. We can click and drag and do what we need to as well for our training tasks or for free play. And then hydraulic power number 2. Acknowledge, and now we should be able to move. And you can see here, so I have in my picture-in-picture window, this is the joystick I'm moving. It's actually this left side over here, right? Cockpit left view. And you can see all the linkages in the center of the screen there as well. So let's go ahead and get a little bit of a closer look. And as I navigate closer, you can see just how detailed this is, right? So we do have a team of artists internally. So we provide turnkey solutions. And so we have a team of artists who specialize in the optimizations of the geometry as well as these particular behaviors that sometimes are needed for the trainers, for the full training value for your end users or for your students. Right, so that's just one of the many features that we have. Another feature that's fairly unique to this trainer is actually, let's see if I can navigate to it, the ability to return to training after doing the ghost view. So for example, I can go ahead and say show fuselage. And then we have our vehicle exactly where it was before. I'm going to disable the picture-in-picture menu, and then I'll run through some of the generic features as well. So starting from the left-hand side, we have this help button, which will pull up a PDF essentially of providing assistance. You can specify what you'd like to show up. So it could be a PDF, could be a web page, whatever external application you need. We also have the training assistant. We have our component locator. This is pretty much a fan favorite. So you can see here, we click on an object and it shows that object, no matter where it is in the scene, it'll show that object highlighted, right? So for example, let's find something interesting. We have this maintenance panel, so I can go ahead and isolate view. And now I have this entire, a free rotating 3D world where I can view this object, right? And then I can zoom out, I can zoom in, etc. Next, we have fast find. So again, I can go to that cockpit left-hand view, right? Or I can go to the engine view, right? Then we have picture-in-picture, which I showed earlier, and then we have external applications. So if you have like a third-party application for viewing the technical manuals, you're more than welcome to have that plugged in, essentially, into our trainers. Okay, so now that I have this, let's go ahead and take a look at another unique feature that we have. So across all of our trainers, by default, anything that moves will typically have this behavior added to it, which is this isolate view. Again, you've already seen that before with the component locator, but just to give a sense of how much value this adds, if you have somebody who's doing maintenance on the engine and they normally have to reach around and find a cable by touch or by feel, here in the trainer, they can actually see what they're reaching for. So that's a huge advantage over, just line drawings or schematics or whatnot. You can see where everything is without having to, go through the process of removing that component. Okay. And then the last thing I have to show for you is going to be just a few more things, but another big feature is our animated schematics and our interactive schematics, right? So here we have this ramp. We could go through the vehicle and we could, raise and lower the ramp manually. We also have the simplified actions, right? So you can actually go to a simplified action, raise and lower the ramp. So do it manually through a simplified action. You can also do it through this schematic here, this interactive schematic. So I'm going to click ramp up. And you can see the schematic responds to everything that needs to happen in order for this ramp to go up, right? So there's the animation there. There's the same animation over here tied together. And then not only can you view the animations, you can actually click on the schematic on these hyperlink style text boxes, and you can actually see the component that's being referenced. So if I move down, you can see moving down, and I can see that's the sequence file. So overall, a lot of these features are across all of our VMTs. They are default behaviors. So for example, the ability to draw on the schematic if I wanted to, if I'm in a classroom, casting to another display that the entire classroom could see, I'll be able to draw and circle and do my training with the students. So you have the training built into the trainer, and you can also do your own personal training as well, your annotations and whatnot for the class. Okay, and then the last thing I'll cover will be the top menu bar. So along the left-hand side, we have hand tools, so screwdriver or torque wrench. You typically equip one or two at a time. So if I have a bolt that I need to remove, typically I'll need, a screwdriver or a wrench of some sort in order to remove that. So we do follow, physical constraints in real life as well. So that way the student is getting accustomed to, oh, something's blocking this door from opening. I need to do this in order to open the door safely. I need to remove this component. It's not just going to magically open on its own. We also do fluids and lubricants. So if you need to, apply a sealant, or if you need to apply some sort of adhesive, you can do so as well using this menu here. We also have support equipment. So this is a wide variety. It's really dependent on the vehicle or on the equipment. But essentially, you can install these. They can either be represented in 2D or in 3D. So like this container, for example, you would typically click and drag it onto what we call a hot spot or a drop spot. And so once you drag it there, it will appear in the 3D scene. And then, as you saw, we have our functional block diagrams or schematics. It really depends on the program to name this. And then lastly, we have our simplified actions again, which you have seen. So that's all I have for you. If you have any questions whatsoever, please reach out to us at www.disti.com. That's disti.com. We'll be more than happy to show you, any other demos that we have, or just chat you through our process. Again, I am Mario Carrasco with the DiSTI Corporation, and thank you for watching.